Welcome back to Off the Bar podcast. My name is Rafael de los Santos, and I can't point at them, but we know that we are here with
Connor Bryan.
Alex Gonzalez.
Michael Figueroa.
Don't mind the first Zoom recording. We're trying some stuff out. Pod is on Zoom this week, as it will be all summer.
Because of COVID,
Things
right?
happened, yeah. Sure, yeah, we're on COVID watch. Let's say that, yeah. Definitely not because we all went home for summer.
Yeah. As we all know, our podcast is based out of the University of Florida, the best university in the country, best university in the world. Go Gators. And yeah, we're on summer break, so for the rest of the summer, our podcast will be on Zoom. And I think that'll probably make it more fun because we'll have more people, new people. And yeah, but let's get right into today's episode, which is a reaction to the Champions League semifinals. Somebody on this podcast said that this has been the best Champions League ever. Was that right?
Yeah.
Back that up, boy.
I feel like not a single match was decided until like the second leg, until like late. Like even like the Liverpool versus like Villarreal match, which was kind of a nail in the coffin in the second half. Everything changed within like a couple of minutes, and that seems to be the theme with this whole tournament. Is that within a couple of minutes, anything was switching. You can say it's because of the fact that there's no away goal advantage and all of that, but even then, like it's just like Real Madrid had a crazy run, in my opinion. Like not a single second leg was relaxing. It was always we're on the edge of our toes, seeing what was going to happen as a Madrid fan. But like it was, I don't know, any of the big games just kind of lived up to the hype at least. That's the way I can see it. Plus Villarreal had a fantastic run, so that was unexpected in the too.
Yeah, I mean, like all of like Madrid's games kind of felt like Madrid didn't really start playing until like the 70th minute or so. Kind of coasted through a bunch of them. You saw that in the Chelsea game, second leg especially. You saw that in like this game especially, and even they turned around a little bit at the end of the first leg against City. Yeah, just a lot of. I mean, I do agree with Michael. I couldn't think of a better Champions League off the top of my head. This has been exciting soccer all around.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm 50-50. I like that Champions League. Do you remember where Monaco knocked out Man City? That Champions League was crazy. But I think, you know what's really crazy? And I was thinking about this during the game when there was like a possibility of going to penalties. This is the first year with no away goal rule. And can you remember a Champions League that had no penalty shootout? There wasn't a single penalty shootout in the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals. Zero.
Oh, I can't even think of that. The whole point of away goal was to kind of remove a penalty shootout. But like even a tie, if whoever has away goal advantage will usually take the advantage. But it seemed like the away goal rule taken away didn't really hurt the game. Instead, it kind of made it more entertaining. Even though I still kind of I'm skeptical about it because it kind of makes the first leg a little bit unnecessary. But I don't know. It was just this year's just been insane. Like I didn't know what to expect. I honestly thought Real Madrid were a weaker team from the beginning of the season because we lost two of our center backs. We basically were also financially struggling because of COVID. And I thought we were going to take an easy season where we're like, okay, maybe we make a nice run, but that's about it. And we had a pretty hard path to where we're at right now. We played against PSG, who were favorites, and we played against the defending champs, and then we played against the Premier League champs and also favorites again. And time again, we proved that we are a lot more powerful than we thought we were. So, like, I was shook the whole time.
Yeah, like let's get into the game. By the way, like Real Madrid, 3-1, like absolutely insane. I don't know where Camavinga got all of that from. Courtois is like without question for me World 11. Like I don't care what happens for the rest of the year. Courtois is the best goalie this calendar year. No questions asked. Karim Benzema is in the World 11. No questions asked. Luka Modric, we'll see. But in my opinion, he's World 11, no questions asked. If Real Madrid win the Champions League, we're talking about La Liga champion, Champions League champion, Spanish Super Cup, and obviously, you know, they're the Champions League champions favored to win the Super Cup as well, and the Club World Cup. And we'll see what happens in the World Cup. But, dude, who do you guys have as man of the match for today? Courtois is mine all day.
For man of the match, I'd have to say Rodrigo, man. He changed the game. If he had not gotten into this game, I don't think we'd be in the final right now.
I mean, I could say that about Courtois. If Courtois doesn't make the saves he makes, Rodrigo scoring 2 would have made a difference because the Man City would have scored like 7.
Yeah, I mean it's debatable. You can say Courtois, you can say Rodrigo. You know, it's just how you're feeling. You know, like after, I'm not gonna lie, like after City scored, I was destroyed. You know, like I didn't even want to watch the game anymore. And then Real Madrid scored, and I still wasn't happy. I was upset, and then there you go, Rodrigo again with a second goal, just came on, and he was electric right from the start.
How
I
did he
called it.
score? How did he score the header?
Second one was the craziest one in my opinion.
Yeah,
How
it
did he
flicked.
score that?
I think Asensio. I think it was Asensio. He like got a slight touch on it, and then it went right to Rodrigo, and then he hit it in.
Yeah, but it's not like Asensio got the touch and then Rodrigo looked at the ball and reacted and headed. It was like Rodrigo was already heading, and then Asensio touched it, and then it hit Rodrigo's forehead, and then it barely almost touches the bar as well. Like, it was stupid.
It was insane, man.
I called it. I told Alex, I'm like, listen, watch.
I was there sulking in my depression,
Nah,
and then
I don't want to hear that.
I was like,
Called it.
scored. They're gonna give us 6 minutes, and we're gonna have a chance to score again. Watch, we're gonna have a chance to score again. And I didn't think it was gonna be that quick. Like I thought, we could have honestly had another goal there too. Like we could, like the amount of momentum Madrid had after that first goal, like they didn't know what to do, and that kind of showed with like. And I'm surprised with the fact that we took out Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro, who are veterans and 3 times Champions League winners, and we play with our young core, and we still got that result. That's what surprised me the most. Is that City has the experience of being in the finals last year, being the league title defenders also, but Real Madrid's young core was playing with so much confidence in that moment that they're basically unstoppable. It was terrifying to watch. It was crazy.
yeah, I don't know what they gave Camavinga, but he's doing really good coming on as a sub.
I mean, he's the future of that midfield. Him and Valverde for sure, the future of that
Yeah.
midfield. They've been incredible all through the Champions League this year and in La Liga.
Dude, I think
But
that today's game, like I had never questioned like Modric, Cruz, Casemiro as a trio, and they've done what they've done, and that's like unquestionable. But dude, I think Camavinga just like put so much doubt in Toni Kroos's like role in the team. Like after today, I've felt that like Toni Kroos is like what he does for Real Madrid is like outdated a little bit. How do you guys feel about that? Like I could back that up. Hear me out. So look at all the big teams in the world, like the best teams. Oh yes, Ethan's here.
Ethan's in.
But look at all the best teams in the world, or the upcoming teams. Like I want to say Barca because I know Barca is a really good example. But look at Barca and what they've done with their midfield, like Pedri, De Jong, Gavi, the kind of midfield that is. You have Liverpool with like Thiago, and Naby Keita, the kind of midfielders they are. Then you have Man City with like, I know Phil Foden plays left wing, but like guys like Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, especially Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva played out of his mind today. Those kind of midfielders are just not Toni Kroos, like Jude Bellingham type, Thiago type, the elusive guys that can play defense and attack box to box. And I think Toni Kroos is like sitting back, playing long balls, distributing the ball is kind of outdated on the Real Madrid side. Like he didn't do anything today, and the Toni Kroos name is like he's a big player, and he really didn't do anything today. And I don't want to speak negative on Real Madrid because he won the game, but like I think Camavinga put a lot of doubt into Toni Kroos on that team.
I can agree. Like after Camavinga came on, you definitely saw a change of pace in Real Madrid, and they were like attacking more. And Toni Kroos definitely, he likes to sit back and give those deep balls in to the top. So I can agree with you a little.
I think it depends how the game's going. Toni Kroos is a great player to have on when you have a nice lead and you need to keep it because he's really good at controlling the pace of the game, whether it's finding passes, switching. Like a lot of times when in the second half, when Real Madrid getting pressured heavily by Man City and we didn't have Kroos, I felt it because we literally had to just hike the ball up. We didn't have a good pass. It was just that whole midfield was basically just a wall of Man City players, and it was really hard for Madrid to move up. And having a player like Kroos will usually help you get the ball up, find those options, change the game, change the offensive pace, and then really have to restructure the other team's defense. But Camavinga is like, in a way, I see Camavinga as not replacing Kroos in the future, but replacing Casemiro's role. as he's more of a he looks like he's more of a CDM. He plays more defensively. When he pushes up, he can push up like Casemiro can. It's just that Casemiro is obviously like right now you can't move him. Still has I think a couple of years in him, maybe more than that. Kroos is a little older, so he has less time in his hand. So I can kind of see where you're coming from, but I feel like Kroos still has really good value for the squad.
I mean, we'll see, because Real Madrid is most likely going to add Antonio Rudiger into their back line, making the back line better. And they're also looking to add none other than Kylian Mbappe up top, which makes you a better team on defense and an insane team on offense, which will make Toni Kroos' job a lot easier. And when he's bad, you won't really be able to see it. But in my opinion, I think Real Madrid should move away from Toni Kroos, which is like such a negative thing to say because we won, but like it showed today. You say that Camavinga is more like Casemiro, but man, I thought Camavinga was all three of them put together. He's missing the quality pass of Toni Kroos, maybe because like who has that pass? Like very few people. Like Thiago, Xabi Alonso had that kind of pass. Like, but dude, the tackles Camavinga was putting in with Casemiro all day, and the way that he's able to beat people on the dribble is Luka Modric all day. That's what Casemiro was missing, and that was the problem that Man City really found. And for some reason, they decided to sub off De Bruyne, and then they decided to sub off Rodri, and stuff happened.
I think we should let Ethan speak a bit what he thinks about the game.
Yeah, Ethan Sanabria shrouded in darkness.
All right, so I'm heated right now. It is 90 degrees in my house, so that doesn't help either. There's a fan blowing on me, and I don't want to turn on the light because it'll get even hotter as soon as I start my little rant real quick. You're up 1-0 going into the 90th minute. You know what? That's fine. Take off De Bruyne. I'm okay with that, actually. He wasn't having a very good game, and he's not a striker like the Ronaldo type. So it's not like one of those one touches he can change the game like that, especially because he's driving forward all the time with the ball. And he has it all the time. It wasn't working. So I'm okay bringing on Gundogan in that moment. But why are you taking off Riyad Mahrez? It doesn't make any sense. Make sure you guys secure the victory. You guys brought in a CDM. You brought in Fernandinho. You brought in Gundogan, two guys who are adept to playing the 6. Obviously, Gundogan plays an 8 sometime. And after that, you just bottled it. Both our center backs look lost. Kyle Walker got hurt, helped on the other side, which Vinicius was not in a pocket, but he missed a lot of opportunities where he felt rushed. Whereas when Fernandinho was there at the right back position, he was able to at least keep up with him. Kyle Walker was able to keep up with him, so added that pressure, which made him be like, hey, look, shoot off, as well as, Vinicius is prone to misses. So there we go. That was like a perfect storm for us defensively on that left-hand side. Then you had an opportunity, multiple opportunities. That was a great, great goal by Mahrez. I don't know. I still don't understand. Why are we subbing off Mahrez? It doesn't make any sense. Like, all right, maybe if you want to go a little more defensive, but Pep is just known for his disaster class at Manchester City. I can name them all. You can start off with Real Madrid first, then back to Monaco, then to Liverpool, then Tottenham, then Lyon, then Chelsea. It happens the same thing every year. And you know what the issue is for me? They give me hope. They give me hope because, you're chilling with the 90th minute. And you know what I mean? Hey, we actually have a chance, because I thought we were going to lose this game, to be honest, until the 90th minute, where I was like, all right, you know what? The 90th minute, they put on 2 defensive midfielders. They have an opportunity to go in and score, have a chance. This is what I was talking about it with Rafa on the last leg. You give this Real Madrid team an opportunity to score, they're going to take it. They find a way. They may not be the most talented team. They may not be the best organized. They may not be, you know what? They have a Ballon d'Or potential player in Karim Benzema, and a kid who should obviously win the award, who's played better than any other player in the league right now. And this is what you get if you're a City fan. I was just telling myself, I was like, all right, cool. So you watch City play in, March and April, seasonal depression. They just go hand in hand. It happens every single time. So, sorry for my little rant. It had nothing to do much with the football tactics and stuff like that. But I'm just pissed off, and that's just how it's going to be for the rest of the day. So
it's okay. You know what the problem is? Pep is overrated, super duper overrated, and that's fine. You hear the name Pep and you think, oh, he's going to coach my team and do very well, but he's just overrated, bro. That's just what it is.
He will win you the league, though.
He'll win you the league, sure.
He'll win you the league by a lot every single year, but will absolutely bottle you every other competition.
I don't know, dude.
He's like,
it was just questionable subs.
I feel Ethan's pain though. That's how I felt when City scored the first goal. But I agree that Guardiola he messed up big time, man. He shouldn't have taken out Mahrez. Mahrez was playing really well. Yeah, he made a lot of bad decisions.
And Mahrez didn't run a lot too. Like he wasn't exactly like the City barely had like they had good offensive chances, but they weren't exactly like Madrid was when they were like pushing desperately. Like they're just trying their best, moving the ball up, keeping possession, and then finding opportunities. While Madrid was kind of pushing up and like trying to get runs as much as possible. And it makes like I agree with Ethan. It makes sense to take out De Bruyne. He's not as offensively inclined. He was very tired in the game early on. So
he was really poor first touch, especially in and out of the box.
He was really tired too. So I'm like, listen, you have Foden, you have Mahrez, you have Gabriel Jesus, you have Bernardo Silva, and the bench you have Grealish and you have Sterling. Like you have enough offensive talent on the bench alone to give Real Madrid a headache. So it made sense to take him out and just put another center mid there. But what didn't make sense was the fact that Pep put 2 CDMs in the end of the game. Like having Rodri and having Fernandinho didn't exactly help offensively for you guys, and that's why they ended up taking out Rodri for Sterling. But it was too late. Like Madrid already had too much momentum on you guys.
2 CDMs and someone who's previously able to play CDM and Gundogan. So like at that point, your entire midfield, and then you move Bernardo up to the wing or like up a little bit. He's just not. He's so much better of a midfielder. And when Bernardo plays and he has that opportunity to dribble across and like then break through lines on the defensive, that's where he's put best. And I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so upset. And it's just another year of being a City fan. Look, you guys are great. You know what I mean? Because you guys get to enjoy awesome titles and, you know, Champions League football and stuff like that. Great. Just want one.
There's no way. That is such spoiled. You're spoiled, Ethan. You're spoiled.
Yeah.
With the Yankees logo hanging overhead, you are certainly spoiled. Like you won what, like 5 of the last like 7 primes? Is that right? That sounds about right to me.
We had. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it, but like as City fans, I don't like to say it too often because we do have like the second highest payroll on any single team outside of United. We should at least have bagged 1 Champions League during Guardiola's tenure, and tenure's not over yet. But if he doesn't bring 1, I think it's a little bit disappointing. Not like as a failure, if that makes any sense. Because
a little bit.
I
think it's
so
a little
too.
bit disappointing that like he comes in, he's supposed to be the greatest manager of all time, and isn't able to deliver.
It's okay. You guys
I don't think he's the greatest manager of all time. I'm just saying like that's what's going around. You know what I mean? That's what people are saying. He's supposed to be the greatest manager of all time. Yada yada yada. Can't even bring the Champions League. That puts it into question 100%. So.
With a team like that too, like I said, you had literally Grealish and Sterling in the bench. Those are 2 players that would have been starting in almost 3 of the top 5 teams in the Premier League right now, easily. And like the crazy thing is, you're gonna get like Haaland next year for a ridiculous amount of money, and that might help that's gonna probably help your chance a lot more. Maybe you be favorites again, but I find it weird how like the 2 teams that got like crazy buyouts from like foreign clubs, as in like City and PSG, have yet to have won a Champions League. With all the money they've spent since their acquisition, they have not. They barely touched the finals, and when they have, they've lost.
Neither one of them have a real team. That's the problem. It's not a real team. Get a striker. I bet you win this game. If you had a striker, you would have won. What did Gabriel? Gabriel Jesus is good.
We don't have
a striker.
He was playing left wing the entire game. He's been playing wing a lot for them lately. But like, I mean, having like a body like you saw, like Benzema was able to punch through that box a lot, or at least get like touches and shots. And he should have had. I mean, if you watch like the beginning of the game, like Benzema and Vinicius both like skied a bunch of chances, like Morata style. So if you like, if
Benzema struggled because they were marking him so heavily, Vinicius had a lot more chances because they were so concentrated on Benzema. I think the only time Benzema had a really clear-cut chance in the first half was the cross that Carvajal put in, but it was too like high up. That's why he hit it with this part of his head instead of like where he needed to. But Vinicius should have scored like 3 goals.
No, listen. That was a good cross. That was a great cross. He headed it wrong. He was startled. Like it wasn't. Man City did so well in putting him off. Like the man had wide open headers. He had wide open shots. He was just missing. The same thing with Vinicius. The only point that I agree with is that they were focusing on Benzema was the beginning of the second half where they played a ball over the top to Danny Carvajal. Danny Carvajal played it first time through the box. Everyone rushed to Benzema. Benzema did not touch it, and Vinicius had a wide open shot, like left foot, and hit it wide. I don't know how, like, but he hit it wide.
And
Ramos was just missing.
we City doesn't have a player over 5'10" in attack, and it showed today. It just completely showed it. As soon as they started whipping balls into the crosses into the box, it just had nobody who was over there to go help them out. So I don't know.
You probably retcon that's like 5'7", just with Foden.
Sorry,
We're
yo.
giving Mahrez like
Chris
a
Paul with the
crazy
bleep.
amount of credit, but like other than the goal, like what
That's all.
remind me like I'm not saying he had a bad game, but remind me of what did Mahrez do other than the goal, like big play, a highlight, something like that. Didn't do anything.
The entire City team didn't really play very well, to be honest. They played okay.
I think outside of Grealish coming on late, I think it's fair to say like outside of one play from Mahrez, I don't think City's attack played very well.
I think the only shining part in our attack was Bernardo, and just like
Yeah.
the ability to go across. But
You remember when I told you that if there was any player that I could take from Man City, it'd be Bernardo Silva?
Bernardo, I mean, he's been our best player the entire season, so that's
Man, it's crazy, man. He's so clear of the Bruyne if he just actually like played his position. Like
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Rodrigo's like 5'9". He scored a header.
not right now, please.
He's
Please.
not tall.
No, you're not wrong. It just hurts.
2 goals in a minute.
That was
Rodrigo. He's probably secured that hero card on FIFA this week, right? Like he was incredible. I mean, if we're going back to man of the match, like it really is a hard conversation between Rodrigo and
it's
Courtois.
No, it's Courtois.
I think there's a debate though. I mean,
If you look at the
Rodrigo
match
was
rating.
excellent.
Do you think
Look at
Courtois should have saved that first goal though? Because we were watching.
That's a hard one to.
It's a little.
Mahrez's shot?
a little
No,
hard.
That's
Mahrez's
a hard shot to
That's
block.
a goal.
Like,
That's
yeah,
a goal. He
Yeah, that's a
whipped
goal
it in
100%, man.
He
near
almost got
post,
it.
top left. And Courtois, the only reason he didn't save it was because he went to the right and then tried to go to the left. If he just goes left, of course he saves it. You remember the shot he saved on Cancelo? Who saves that, bro? What are you doing?
That's true. That's true. That
And
is
the
true.
one that he tipped, that Fernandinho almost scored. Of
Plus,
course, he
Grealish at the end with his leg too. Like him stopping that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
How do you guys feel about the quickly taken free kick?
I
mean,
didn't like it.
Well, I
was
don't.
weird.
Well, I mean, one Foden has to put that in.
He's at least on target. At least on target.
It was
You
a-
can't.
it was
You
a
cannot
stand-up
sky that
shot.
ball.
It was a stand-up shot. Like he controlled it, and on that same foot tried to shoot it. Like it was kind of hard.
Yeah, like I said, you can debate if it was Courtois or Rodrigo. Like,
I don't think so.
how do you think this game
It's
would have been if
Courtois.
Rodrigo didn't come in?
Bro, Courtois doesn't make any saves. Rodrigo could score a hat trick, and it wouldn't be enough.
But
Rodrigo
like,
scored 4, and it wouldn't be enough.
what I'm saying is,
Courtois kept the team in the game, and then Rodrigo came in and did a miracle, bro. Good for him.
well, we're
Courtois-
just talking about the second leg, not the first leg, because Courtois
Second leg.
second leg, I think it should have been.
Courtois had 8 saves. Courtois had an 8.2 match rating. Rodrigo had an 8.7 with 2 goals. That's crazy.
And Benzema had an 8.8
Yeah. He had a goal and assist.
goal and assist. Yeah.
I don't think it's Courtois, bro. He
Uh,
had 8 saves. 8.
The confidence he has to get like 2 goals that quickly, right when he got subbed in, and on top of that, being 5'9" and scoring a header, that was crazy.
He dropped somebody in his 20 seconds on being on the pitch.
Yeah.
You knew he was going to do something. God.
I mean, pulling up the off the bar Twitter, we ran a poll about man of the match. It's currently 75% Rodrigo, 25% Courtois. So I mean, I think a lot of people are looking at base stats and maybe not considering what Courtois actually did for the game.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Courtois was amazing.
I think it's a debate. I think it's a debate to be had, though. Yeah.
If you know how many saves goalies make on a regular basis, and I told you that Courtois made 8 saves against Man City in the Champions League semifinal second leg, you'd agree with it.
A couple of the shots were right next to, like, right in front of him, but he did have a great game.
Bro, I just named like the shots. But
No, no,
remember Bernardo's half
Yo,
volley as well?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just saying. We were talking about 8, and I was like, yo, a couple of them were like right at him, but he did have a great game. So
no, it's true. A couple of long shots were right at him. Bernardo's half volley, Cancelo's shot, the one he tipped away from Fernandinho, and I know I'm missing one. Not Grealish one where he just kicked it away. Crazy, bro. He's been a match for me, undeniably. Good stuff from Rodrigo, came on super sub and all that, but without Courtois, none of that matters, bro.
Let's talk about the controversy, the penalty.
It's a penalty. I don't care what you say, Ethan. It's a penalty, bro.
It is.
It's a penalty.
It's the most classic penalty of
That's
all
a
time.
penalty.
Someone
That
makes
is
a pass,
for sure a
the
penalty.
attacker beats them to it, and the defender makes the foul. Classic.
It was
Other than that, a
really
handball.
like one. If he would have gotten there 1 second earlier, it would have not been a penalty. But it's unfortunate. He made the move. He did the right move. He had to get that ball, and Benzema was just there first. So
Yeah, man. Look at it this way. It's not like it's one center back's fault. It's both of them. Ruben Diaz gave away a penalty this leg, and the last leg, it was who?
Laporte gave
Laporte?
away the other pen, but is that a pen? Is that a pen?
Yes.
Technically, by the rules, yeah.
Technically, by the rule, there should have been 2 pens in this game, but they only got one. Yeah, that handball was a pen as well, but
yeah,
just vibing out here. Got to make the game interesting.
the commentator was like, it was in a natural position where his hand was like right here.
Bro, it was a handball. It was definitely a handball.
The manners are
And
jumping
then like
fist bump trying to say,
Zinchenko tried to do like a freaking 60-meter dive. Like, what was that? On the other end, bro jumped over him. Like, what are you doing?
So do you, like I'm gonna have to say that this is probably the best 2 legs of this year's Champions League.
I don't know. It's the best 2 legs I've ever seen in my life. Any Champions League.
Yeah.
It was what I mean. It was aggregate 6-5 score. It was electric the whole way through. Like I would be remiss to find another Champions League like 2 legs that were better than this.
It went down to the wire too.
It did. Good game. It hurt, but it was a good game. So I mean, look,
Honestly, you could probably say that this year Real Madrid's games have been insane. Like they've been having lots of comebacks. Against PSG, that game was insane. Against Chelsea, the second leg, even though we were down, we still managed to bring it back. And now against City, did it again.
so man, I think this is like easily one of, if not the best runs ever, if you look at talent-wise, for any Champions League team. You have to go through PSG, you have to go through Chelsea, you have to go through Manchester City, and you have to go through Liverpool. If, dare say it, is it possible that this is the greatest Champions League run in Real Madrid history if they beat Liverpool?
No, it is not the greatest Champions League run in Real Madrid history. It's the coolest by far. Like, what? Coming back second leg every single time, or having to hold on against Chelsea in the second leg? Very cool. Greatest? Absolutely not. Real Madrid won the Champions League what year against Juventus? 2017. 2017. They beat the French champions in PSG, who had just gotten Neymar, and they had Mbappe, and they had everyone. Round of 16. Quarterfinals, Bayern, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Bayern?
Look at that year. What year was that?
2017.
2017. It was PSG. They beat PSG, the French champions. Bayern, German champion. No, it might have been Napoli. Napoli. No, I'm definitely getting messed up. It was like the champions of every domestic league, and they beat them all. Look it up.
They beat Napoli in the round of 16, then they beat Bayern, and then they beat Atletico.
Okay, then that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Go forward or back a year.
Think
It
forward.
was the year they beat Liverpool in the final.
That was the first one we won before we won the.
No, that was the second one.
No, the Liverpool was that was the last one.
Yeah.
So that was 2018.
Yeah, check that one. They played PSG in the semis that year.
Yeah, that's the one. Right?
Yeah, Real Madrid against PSG, Real against Juventus, and then Real Madrid versus Bayern, and then we beat Liverpool in the final.
Who were the Premier League champions?
Not Liverpool.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Liverpool.
Liverpool didn't win the Premier League that year.
Liverpool.
They won it, I think, the year after.
The year before was Chelsea. Yeah, in 2017.
Liverpool's first Premier League title was in 2020.
That might have
So they
been
beat-
the Centurions, or that was 2018, 2019.
So that year they beat PSG, French champions. Who would they beat after that?
Juventus.
Was Italian champions, then Bayern, German champions, and then Liverpool. That's not real.
And the rule be Porto, City, and then beat Roma, because Roma beat Barca that year. That's the year that Barca
Yeah,
3-0.
that's the greatest Champions League run I've ever seen.
I don't
Over
know,
this one for sure.
because the
This
thing
one's
is
more
that-
exciting. But like,
That Real Madrid team, when they won that, they already won 2 prior. So
Yeah,
they
I'm-
were expected to
which
even,
makes it even better, bro.
yeah,
Look,
but they were
I'm a fan.
favored to win.
Not a fan of Madrid, clearly, but I think that would be the most dominant run, and I think this is like the most entertaining. I don't know, but that's what my opinion is.
That's what I'm saying. Because like this year, Real Madrid round of 16 played PSG. PSG is really cool because they have Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, but at the same time, they're not good. They're just not good. They're actually not good. On paper, they're good, but they're not actually good. Like they're not even French reigning champs. Like Leo have won. Like so, but like it's PSG. It's a cool win. Then you have like Chelsea, defending champions. That does have merit to it. Then now Man City, obviously that has merit to it. And I think we'll have to see. If they beat Liverpool, then like maybe you could have that argument because this would be like, I guess you could argue for the last one, Real Madrid was favorite in every single game because like they had won 2 Champions League prior. Where like this one, Real Madrid was not favored against PSG. Real Madrid was not favored against Chelsea. And Real Madrid was not favored against Man City, and they're not going to be favorites against Liverpool. So if they win the Champions League, then maybe we can have this conversation. That's why I'm saying if Real Madrid wins the Champions League against Liverpool, Karim Benzema's a Ballon d'Or lock. I don't care what happens in the World Cup, which is probably going to be favorable to Benzema anyways because he's French, and they're probably going to have a nasty World Cup anyways. But to me, it locks Benzema as the Ballon d'Or winner. He's going to end up with what? He has 15 goals in Champions League right now. He's tied with Cristiano for most in the campaign.
No, I think
He's
Cristiano's
tied-
17
He's
or
tied
18.
most. He's tied most for Cristiano in a knockout stage.
Yeah,
So it's 10.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. And but he has like 15 goals right now or something. And Cristiano's most is 17.
Yeah.
So if he has a
Hello.
hat trick in the finals, he gets it.
Even if he ties
Yeah,
it,
good
bro, you're
good luck
talking
on Virgil
Cristiano.
van Dijk, dude. Good luck running 3 goals on.
Speaking of Virgil van
that
Dijk, Michael Ballack said, and I thought I'd say this because I knew we were going to talk about Liverpool being around, which we'll get to in a minute. This is what Michael Ballack said about Van Dijk probably yesterday. He said Van Dijk is very lucky to play in an era where there is no Drogba, Lampard, Shearer, Henry, Rooney, Van Persie, Tevez, Adebayor, Diego Costa for some reason in the Premier League. No
Diego
wonder
Costa should not be.
no wonder he's the best defender in the league. How do you guys feel about that? He's saying that there's no more like big physical strikers that can like really take on Van Dijk.
Well, what about Lukaku?
Ethan's deflecting from his own pain, bro, and I don't have to take that.
I mean, you're not wrong, but like, entertain me a little bit.
I mean, you're acting like Van Dijk hasn't had to play against like Sergio Aguero in his career. Sergio Aguero in his career. Well, we're talking about strikers. So Timo Werner's a great, one of the elite left wings in Premier League
Aguero's
soccer.
like 5'7" and 150 pounds or something.
Listen, but he's one of the great strikers, and Van Dijk has had to play him. I'm really scrambling to think of better strikers that Liverpool's had to play against. I mean, if we're going beyond strikers, just looking at attackers, like I'm playing Ronaldo plays. I'm scrambling.
Yeah, but
Ronaldo plays Prem.
Let's relax on that.
Watch
I think
Ronaldo.
Van Dijk, if Ronaldo's not washed, he's the second leading scorer in the Premier League. You want to talk about washed? Let's talk about Messi, but that's another question.
Leading assister in Ligue 1.
In Ligue 1, cool.
Yeah.
Cristiano's the second leading scorer in the Premier League, right? Right. I think let's not get into that.
But let me give you, like, this is what I want to say is that there's not a reliance now on having a very good number 9. It's important, but a lot of teams in the Premier League don't have like ridiculously good top scoring number 9s now. Like, I think the only team that has like probably a good person in that position would be maybe United with Ronaldo, and then you can look at Kane in Tottenham, and then you can
And
look at
Son from Tottenham. Yeah.
But But like it's very like this generation's been mostly reliant on having your wingers be the top dominant scorers, and that's very prominent in the Premier League as like Sane and Salah are the top scorers of that team. So other teams are relying like that. Plus, like technically, like Man U has a bad year this year, but last year they had a very dominant offense where like Rashford and I think it was Cavani were scoring plenty of goals. So that team was pretty hard. Like I think it's unfair for Ballack to say that when he played in a completely different generation and didn't win any like major trophies. Like Van Dijk is playing in a good squad where it's a huge factor to it. He's playing a very good team that's a good defensive team, a good offensive team, and like I feel like it's just a different game than when Ballack grew up. Like
Yeah, Real Madrid's certainly going to be the underdogs against Liverpool, but if there's anyone that's like any of the guys that Ballack named and who's in form right now, it's definitely Karim Benzema. So
yeah, I agree.
But I mean, dude, you want to talk about like impact, instant impact? When Virgil van Dijk went down, Liverpool was a totally different squad. Now I know they had a lot of injuries going into January, but when he was out and it was just him out, you could totally tell that was a completely different Liverpool team. You can argue that he has the biggest impact on any squad in the entire world. I'm just gonna say that and put that right out.
You had me in the first half. That what you just said was madness. I think you check out Benzema from Real Madrid and they just play like freaking
Toast.
Valladolid.
I just want to add real quick that the man of the match awards just came out, and Courtois did win man of the match. So.
Yeah,
That's
Very deserved.
why. That's why. I'm not even gonna say it.
I think you would have a hard time in Prem history finding a center back, especially that's a bet like better than Virgil van Dijk. I really do. You have guys that could contend for it, but I don't know if you'd ever find a better center back than Van Dijk, and I don't think that's a product of the era. I think it's a product of his quality as a defender.
I don't know about better than Van Dijk, but there's definitely some guys that the argument is there to be had. But I didn't watch them like that firsthand, so I won't mention it. But off the top of my head, like when John Terry was good, he was John Terry. When Nemanja Vidic was Nemanja Vidic, he was Nemanja Vidic. You know what I mean? But like Rio Ferdinand, like Sol Campbell, but like I don't know. I didn't personally watch those guys play like hardcore. So I disagree with Michael Ballack. I think that Virgil van Dijk is literally he's the best center back in the world, really. I think the only person that's like right there with him is Antonio Rudiger. And unfortunately for Rudiger, Van Dijk plays for Liverpool, who is the better team when it comes to Chelsea and Liverpool at the moment. So Van Dijk gets the praise being the best center back in the world. And that's just the truth. Like at the moment, Liverpool is better than
Chelsea also plays 5 at the back, yo.
Chelsea plays 5 at the back. That you said?
Yeah.
The defense.
Yeah, and I didn't score we didn't score 4 goals in the first leg of our Champions League run and still lose.
Yeah, but he still makes the plays though. Like even against Real Madrid, you know, he like got the assist. He passed it to Benzema. Like I never seen Van Dijk do anything like that.
You score 4 against Madrid, but you can't score 1 against Everton, Connor. Come on, man.
See, I'm just trying to have an intelligent conversation about why Van Dijk is better. You're just coming out.
Listen, man. It's not Connor's strength.
Listen, we're not talking about Richarlison. We're not talking about Richarlison.
Hey, Ethan, Rodrigo's not even a starter, buddy. Not even a starter. He's on the bench. Is he even rare? People, he is rare. You're lucky. He is rare.
He'd be like an $80 million sign from Pep, and he'd open on the bench for half the year.
Yeah,
dude.
That's facts.
Pep,
actually. Yeah.
Get a striker. You want to get better next season? Get a striker. You are getting Erling Haaland, but that's literally it. And stop playing right back to that. Stop it. It's not cool.
Alex, I'm like, Man City has so much like firepower on them that they can just adjust a lineup like that, and they'll still be a threat. Like you could have put Bernardo, like I said, you put Bernardo at right wing, and he's still gonna give you a headache. You have Sterling, Grealish, Jesus, Gabriel Jesus, who's on form right now. Like that whole team is just a threat offensively, constantly.
The problem is you have guys like Bernardo and Kevin De Bruyne that are breaking lines, and then what do you have to do? Inevitably pass out to your wings, because who are your good players in that front line? Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez. Gabriel Jesus is very questionable as a striker playing in the Champions League semifinal. He's not the guy you want there. Who do you want there? A guy like Karim Benzema, a guy like Erling Haaland, a guy like Lewandowski, which I know is a lot to ask. But like, dude, you're Man City, you're dropping $1 billion in transfer, but like spending in the last like whatever amount of time, like 5 years or something, 6 years or a decade or whatever, since Pep has been there. Dude, you want a real striker. So you know what the problem is? You pass out to Mahrez, who's there? Ferland Mendy, good player. You pass out to Foden, who's good there? Danny Carvajal, good player. You're not attacking Nacho, bro. That's where you want a guy. You want a guy that can take on Nacho. How did Chelsea start making the comeback in the second leg? They went straight at the center backs. There was no Militao there. First goal, right down the middle. A bunch of goals came down the middle. Or you switch out to the wing, you make them shift in, and you cross the ball in. Same thing that Chelsea did. Same way that Man City scored in the first leg, bro. The whole defense shifts. The center backs suck. You expose Alaba. You expose them. Dude, Phil Foden scored a header. Phil Foden's a good player, but bro, he shouldn't be scoring a header against Real Madrid. That should tell you a lot about the center back situation at Real Madrid, and that's something that Liverpool's going to be looking to capitalize on for sure. But you know what the problem is? Liverpool also don't have a good striker. Like they kind of do, Diego Jota, but they kind of don't because he did nothing against Villarreal.
I don't know. They have a scary offensive piece.
They do. I mean, lately for Liverpool, especially Mane's been playing striker a ton, and he's big enough and fast enough to play that he basically plays that for Senegal right now too. The attacking power and like Liverpool's like 5 or 6 guys deep in their attack that can all be starters for just about any Prem side, the majority of sides in the world. Like you're looking at like
I'd say about 4.
What?
Firmino doesn't count, surely. I'd say about 4. Like the guys they have already.
Four. You have 4 genuine. Like for me, that's fair. You have 4 guys that could come into the majority of sides in the world and start 25 games a season. In Jota, Salah, Mane, Luis Diaz. They're incredible. They're incredible players. I mean, if you look at if you look at the game yesterday, like Liverpool's floundering in that game. A lot of problems defensively because the fullbacks are pushing so far up. Luis Diaz comes on, changes the entire game. They shift Mane inside, take Jota off. I don't think it was all Jota's fault because Naby Keita was in there just putting in a solid like 4-0 rating. But no, like Luis Diaz comes on as a super sub and like completely changes the entire like vibe of the game. It was incredible to watch. One of the best like sub appearances I've ever seen in soccer. If you look at and the fact that they have a guy every week that can come in and do that based on the way they play, like it's incredible. Like I think if you're looking at this Liverpool side, I think they do stand a good chance. That I would put them as the favorite against Madrid based on that.
Oh yeah,
and Luis Diaz is in form. He's really in form right now.
I would not put that as one of the best sub performances I've ever seen. Take that back.
Well, I mean, Lewandowski scoring 4 is probably
Rodrigo
the best one,
today.
Rodrigo today.
I've seen a lot of crazy ones around Madrid fans.
But what I think is Real Madrid and Liverpool this year have offensively they play the same in the sense that they don't have to be good, or they don't have to be dominating for 80 minutes or 90 minutes of the match. They just need 5 minutes to flip the game in their direction.
Dude,
that's what happened against Villarreal. They literally got lucky in the first leg. Once they had that goal, they scored right after under 10 minutes. And that's how they get in. Once they get in, they have the crowd on their side, or they have the confidence, they're very hard to defend against. Especially when you have Salah, you have Mane, you have Jota, you have Diaz, and you have Firmino. They're all these people that can just score whenever they want to. You just need the right opportunities. And with players like Salah and Mane, they will get you those opportunities when you need it. Especially with the midfield with Thiago and Jordan Henderson. They can push the team up to have dominant ball possession right outside the box to get that cross in. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about Trent, who's arguably one of the best assisters. I feel like that team can out of nowhere just flip it. The same as Madrid. Madrid, most of their games, they weren't the better team for a majority of the time. But when they got opportunities, they capitalized it, and then they had the momentum to keep going and going and going. Look, last leg, City was dominant. City could have beaten us 6 because City could have had 4 goals before we even had 1 goal at one point. But if you don't make those goals, Madrid is gonna bite you in your butt. They're gonna score. It's just a matter of time.
I think that the Villarreal game, Villarreal Liverpool yesterday, exposed a lot of things in Liverpool though. We can sit here and talk about how good they are in attacking. That's true because of their depth, and they are really good in attacking because inevitably, they have Jota, who's top 5 in scoring in the Premier League. They have Salah, who's leading the Premier League in goals and assists. So yes, they are very important in attack, but they were pinned back the whole first half. I think it was mostly it was inevitable in a way because Liverpool are just better than Villarreal. It was kind of on Emery as well. you have them on their back leg and you just let them get the ball like that. You let them sit back. You don't sub off Jared Moreno, who's injured. Like, you don't make subs to keep the pressure up, and instead you try to sit back on the team that's better than you. You're gonna get scored on. And it was unfortunate because Fabinho's goal was not good. It just wasn't good. But it went in, and that caused all the other goals to go in. So who knows what happens? But I think that I also agree that Liverpool are favorites. But like, that game against Villarreal yesterday definitely brings up a ridiculous amount of question marks. Like, what happens if you don't let Trent and Andrew Robertson go up? Liverpool doesn't work. What do they have to do? Play balls over the top, which could work against Madrid, or it might not work. And if your attack doesn't work against Madrid, you're effed, because their attack is gonna work. It just is. Like, we can now say that it's almost inevitable. Like, Real Madrid's going to score on you. They scored every single game, right? Except PSG first leg.
Yeah.
No,
they
except
went-
for when they played against Sheriff and we lost. We didn't score.
And then they scored 3 in the second leg. Like, Benzema is damn nearly inevitable. Vinicius having at least a chance, and if he was just better at shooting, but like, it's inevitable. So what happens if you don't let Trent come up? What happens when Vinicius is running at Trent? We'll see, bro.
I
Like,
don't
gonna
think
have,
that good of it. Like,
no, I'm telling you right now. Like, Trent,
great right back defensively. He's very solid. There's so many
Trent?
times Vinicius almost had
Trent
it, held him back. But Trent is not a strong defender, and that's going to
Trent
be
cannot defend Vinicius. That's a given.
yeah.
So Liverpool has
He's
to play
gonna.
against that.
I mean, early like favorite for man of the match, especially if Madrid ends up winning that, should be Vinicius, because Vinicius is going to absolutely crush Trent. Like, there's no way. I mean, normally like their defense works like Henderson or Fabinho will come across and like help defensively against, but like Vinicius has all of them on pace. Like, the closest, like Kyle Walker was doing really well against Vinicius today until he got hurt, and that's a part of why like Madrid was able to come through and like completely change the vibe of the game after he went out. And you even saw that for stretches with Chelsea against Reece James too. Like, you need a pacey, solid defense, like fullback in there to defend Vinicius, and Liverpool does not really have that in Trent on that right side.
Because
Yeah, I
like
think
gonna
the guys are
happen-
going to come up. Go ahead.
if Vinicius beats Trent, then Matip is gonna have to push up, and then that leaves one of like the two people in the box open.
It'll
Usually,
be
what
Konate.
Benzema likes to do, he likes to push up, get the defender going up, and then once he loses his attention, he pushes right back and he's wide open.
Yeah, cut
He
back.
usually makes those, so that's gonna be a problem for Liverpool. I'm not saying that it's Real Madrid's gonna run through them, but I'm just saying that Real Madrid's a team that realizes what they have in their disposal and how little they have, and they're gonna make the best out of it. And they do. Like, they whenever, like, look at it. Like, look at the first leg. Their first shot was Benzema's goal. Like, they found their guy. He was wide open. He got a crazy volley, and they were down by a goal like that.
And they also know who they have on the bench. Like, Real Madrid plays whoever they put, and if Valverde is not playing, he's the sub. If Rodrigo's not playing, he's the sub. Camavinga's the sub no matter what. Lucas Vasquez might come on. Everyone else is like, what do we need at the moment? And I think that's something that works in Real Madrid's favor somehow. It works against Liverpool. It works against Klopp, where it's like, when do I bring on Luis Diaz? Do I start Luis Diaz? Do I bring on Jota? Do I slide Mane to striker, or do I leave him out on left wing and put in Luis Diaz as striker or as left wing? Who do I play in the midfield? Because I have Naby Keita, I have Jordan Henderson, I have Fabinho. I guess like Curtis Jones and Ox don't really count. But like, what's gonna happen if they don't have the ball and Real Madrid's attacking Trent? Like, Trent cannot keep up with Vinicius. So it's gonna be up to Konate, who's inexperienced at right center back, to stop Vinicius. And that's where the penalties come in. Because something that we can't neglect is the fact that Real Madrid got a penalty in the first leg against Man City and in the second leg against Man City. Silly, like somewhat silly penalties, but the penalties nonetheless. They put center backs in tough situations. And the center backs that usually play good against Real Madrid are experienced center backs. And that's something that they don't have in Konate. And Konate has shown that he is a liability on defense with that goal against Benfica, where he just gave the ball away and they scored. So it will be up to Liverpool to have the ball and not let their fullbacks get punished and sit back and just shoot on Real Madrid, because that way you can definitely score on them. You can definitely score on Real Madrid. This is the weakest back line I've seen on Real Madrid like ever. It is.
I think it's fair to say. I mean, Nacho's regularly starting games for you guys right now due to injuries a lot. So given that you guys are able to win with him. Yeah, Militao has not been – he's been a little shaky lately. I mean, he was very shaky today for stretches. I thought Shaky last leg very much. Oh, he actually didn't play last leg, did he?
Alaba's a left back, and he starts at center back.
No, I know.
He did play the first leg.
Yeah. I mean, let him 4 goals first leg of this game, but it's a shaky back line.
Yeah.
When you have like Liverpool with their depth offensively and their quality offensively, like this will probably, I mean, if I had to guess if it's closer to like first leg or second leg of like City Liverpool or City Madrid, I would imagine it's first leg. I would imagine it's high scoring just because like Liverpool's gonna be able to put up goals, but like there's no one that can guard Vinicius, and Benzema is kind of Benzema. Like he's been incredible all year. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be high scoring.
You also have to look at the Premier League. Liverpool is 1 point behind Man City, so they're not going to rest their players. And this weekend, Liverpool is playing against Tottenham, where Tottenham is fighting for 4th place right now. If Tottenham win this match and then win against Arsenal, get the 4th place spot. Or if Arsenal drop points and they win, they get the 4th place spot. So Liverpool's going to have a tough matchup either way. I think Liverpool's a better team than Tottenham, so I think they're going to win it. But like the fact that Liverpool still has the title hopes in the back of their mind, and they have the FA Cup, so they're mostly going to keep playing. They're good players. That's worrisome for them, and that might fatigue them for the finals. Real Madrid already won La Liga, and they are not playing the Copa del Rey. They're like Betis already won, so they're done. All they have to worry about is the Champions League finals. They're going to get their players rested. They're going to not really care about. They can literally lose against Atletico this weekend. It doesn't matter. They're probably not even going to try. So, like, it's going to be smooth sailing for them, while Liverpool has a very tough road ahead of them. Liverpool
also has an extra game. Liverpool's playing 5 games until the final. Real Madrid's playing 4, and one of them is against Cadiz and Levante. And like Michael just said, they don't matter because Real Madrid already won the league.
I'm kind of hoping personally, like Liverpool just sacrifices the FA Cup final. Just kind of let's Chelsea get this international treble.
Nah, Liverpool's going for the quadruple. Yeah. I don't think they'll.
No, I'm hyped for my
or treble.
I'm hyped for the Super Cup. Jesus, I'm hyped for the Super Cup, Club World Cup, FA Cup treble that Chelsea's about to win. Most fraudulent treble ever.
And not a treble.
Community Shield.
I'm counting. The Community Shield, sure. I think it's I always forget what it's called, but it's Europa League winner versus Champions League winner. Is that Community Shield?
Super Cup.
Super Cup. That's what I said first time. European Super Cup.
You won that. You won the Club World Cup, and now if you win this, you have
win. That's a treble.
Weird treble.
That's a treble.
So now that
technically it's not because it's not in the same calendar year.
That's a treble in the same way like Jared Goff's a starting quarterback. Like they're both not like. They are technically, but they're not.
But like, not even on a technical basis is it a treble. Like,
how is it not technically a treble? It's 3 trophies in a season.
Because it's not by trebles and like sextuples and doubles are not by season. They're by year. Like 365 days.
That's true.
That is fair. Yeah. Actually, that's true.
Because you win the league like early in the year, and like the domestic cup, then you win the Champions League. So you have 3. And then, like, you can't win anything else in the latter part of the year.
Because Madrid, if they win the Champions League, then they will, in your logic, treble because they won the Super Cup of Spain. They won La Liga, and they'll win the Champions League if they win.
Yeah.
Okay, Dub said Chelsea trebled last year, is what I'm hearing. In retrospect, I get to do little revisionist history on the podcast.
Well, what did you win? Champions League,
Club World Cup.
It's a
Super Cup.
It's a treble. Like food on the kids' menu is food. You know what I mean?
Once you win the hardest, the other ones are not that hard.
Yeah, that is fair.
Yeah, it's just like by definition, a road treble is the league cup, and the Champions League. Like no matter what, that's what it is.
You won the hardest trophy, which is the Champions League, but then after that, it's basically a cakewalk.
Oh wait, I was told by Chelsea social media the Club World Cup was the hardest. They're front like that was the hardest competition they ever played as a fan, which was hilarious. But
it's a Stanley Cup of soccer trophies.
Well, I mean, back to Liverpool. Liverpool has a chance to win the quadruple, which I don't believe has been done before.
Of course,
who's won the quadruple?
Dude, the Barca won the sextuple.
It hasn't happened in English football, but it has happened in other places.
Inferior leagues, you know what I mean?
Could argue that the English quadruple is the hardest thing to do, but
Sure.
That is fair.
Villarreal makes a Champions League semifinal against Liverpool. Who's trying to fight for first. You tell me what the harder league is. Villarreal's like 7th place.
I mean, Coutinho did put 2 on Barca and an 8-2 whooping before going to Villa. So that means he must be some kind of good, right?
Wait, who?
Coutinho,
Decent.
decent.
Yeah.
Danny Ings, best striker in the world.
Danny Ings isn't even the starting striker for Villa.
Is he not?
No, Ollie Watkins gets like way more starts than him.
Dude, it's crazy that like Connor calls Aston Villa, but Villarreal is some other like.
Villarreal.
My buddy's dad is from England, and he's a huge Aston Villa fan, and he like yells at me every time I say Villa, so I just go straight to Villa.
But
It's
like,
like it's ingrained in my memory. It's a muscle reaction.
they
I say Villa. I say no. I don't say Villarreal. I say Villarreal. Little
Well,
R.
I mean, this is the same guy who said what is it, Jota, or
Mbappe.
Mbappe,
I said
Juve.
I said Mbappe for like 3 months on this podcast.
Juventus.
Juventus,
Juventus.
Juve.
Connor's quiet.
That's fair. That's fair. I got nothing to say. Listen. Weird.
Wait, so what's the sextuple is when you win, I guess you treble, and then you win both Super Cups, the one of Spain, the one of Europe, and then you win the Club World Cup, right?
Win everything.
It'd be league, domestic,
Big domestic.
two domestic cups, right? There's Copa del Rey.
No,
and
domestic
then-
cup,
in La Liga,
Champions
we
League.
just have one, some domestic
Yeah.
cup.
Sextuple
Barca
then.
did it. They basically won the Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League. Then they won the Super Cup tournament.
Super Cup.
Spain, Super Cup of Europe, and then they won the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
That's like it's impressive, but like a sextuple is like a weird thing to say when it's basically a whole new season.
You know, that's why
You
people
make
think
it weird,
Guardiola is good because he won the sextuple.
I don't know,
Mhm.
man. I think 3 Champions League is harder to do.
Mm,
It's a lot more games
it
instead of
is.
one. Like
It is harder. I'm not gonna lie to you.
you play
It is
against
harder.
like, a couple leagues winner, which were basically I think at that time was maybe Atletico Madrid. Then you play against the Club World Cup, which is not crazy. And then I think the hardest one will probably be the Spanish Cup because you're playing against probably the second in the league, which would be Real Madrid. And 2 legs. At the time, I think it was a 2-leg tournament. So, but I don't know. I feel like that's a weird tournament. That's a weird thing to flex.
Sextuple? Dude, I'd have
It's
won the
like being
sextuple for Real Madrid. Crazy.
It's like being like, oh, Real Madrid trebled when they won the Champions League and they won the 2 Super Cups. It's like
because it's not
barely
a
a
trouble.
treble.
It's not a trouble.
Yeah. Hey Connor, why is Chelsea 3 points behind Arsenal right now?
We're
not
3
3
points
behind
behind Arsenal?
No,
You're
we're
3
not. No way.
Oh, 3 points ahead. My bad. We're 3 points
I
behind
was
them.
like, brother.
Hey, can someone fact check this real quick? How far are they from Liverpool?
Oh,
Oh
Like,
my god.
15 points.
Listen, I ate lunch, bro. We got it. Like, don't worry about it. I got the table pulled up right now. Chelsea and Arsenal are even on games. We are up 3 points on you, despite being 26 goals ahead of you on goal difference,
yeah.
which is insane, in my opinion.
In our defense, we're also playing with like a U23 team.
You know what that means?
You're playing.
just beat up
You are playing all
on
your
small
starters,
teams.
sir. You're playing
Huh?
all your starters. In my defense, you're playing all your starters, and Chelsea are
That just
tired
means
from.
Chelsea scores a lot of goals when they win.
We have a lot going on. Okay, I know.
How many teams you got, bro?
I have 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's not even a real soccer fan. I don't ever say anything about it, but we should
But
definitely
listen,
check it
listen,
out.
listen. So the reason why I like Real Madrid and Arsenal is because when I first started
Because
watching
you were dropped on your head as a baby. Yeah,
religiously, don't be mad. When I first started watching the sport religiously was in 2010, and my favorite team was the Spanish national team at the time. And my 2 favorite players on the team were Casillas and Fabregas. Casillas played for Madrid, Fabregas played for Arsenal, and that's where I just went with it. So I saw Real Madrid lose 5-0 against Barcelona. I saw Real Madrid get dogged every time they get to Barcelona. I saw them lose 2-0 in the Bernabeu when Messi scored that crazy goal. So I'm allowed to be braggy about Real Madrid because I was there when they were not winning, and Barcelona was just six-tupling every year.
All I asked was how many teams you got, but yeah.
And I was always there when Real Madrid Arsenal got wrecked, always. So.
Maybe that'll be a future pod episode where we put like Michael on trial and see if it's okay that he likes 2 major soccer teams.
No,
It's not like you have like a
okay.
major one, like an MLS
It's
club. It's like you have 2 like full soccer teams that you support.
Well, like I'm not like gonna support, other. I like these teams because I told you they're the Spanish national team. But it's not like Real Madrid and Arsenal were like dominating when I was watching them. They weren't winning.
No, back in 2003 when they were both good at the same time.
Well, that was 2003. I didn't watch 2010 where Real Madrid where Barca was the best team in the world, and Real Madrid just got Ronaldo, and they were like still kind of finding a footing with Mourinho. I remember seeing them win their first trophy against Barca when Ronaldo scored that header in the Copa del Rey finals against Barcelona, where they had Pinto as their goalkeeper. So I remember watching that, like the back of my hand. So like I said, I've religiously watched these teams, and when I started watching Arsenal, they didn't win a trophy for 8 years. That's a long time.
So you guys are racking up FA Cups.
Yeah, it wasn't until like 2013, I think. That was like towards the end of Wenger's tenure when we had like Sanchez already. Like we were just not playing. Well, that's after we got Ozil. So that was like 2013-14.
Listen, it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's okay. Like, what do you want me to do?
It's not okay.
Support
pick one.
who's already dominating? Or
Michael,
like,
if they play today, who are you supporting?
Huh?
If Madrid and Arsenal play today, who are you supporting?
Arsenal, because they haven't won anything in Europe.
All right, you're an Arsenal.
You're an Arsenal
fan.
fan.
Take that shirt off.
What do you mean? Madrid's already dominating
You're an Arsenal
Europe.
fan.
Shut up. Take your
Like,
shit
I
off.
saw Madrid win 3 in a row. Like, what do you want me to do?
Like
I'm
Arsenal
doing
more.
again. Like that's because you're a fan of the club.
See, like, I wouldn't be like for example, like if I started watching football in 2010. If I started watching football in 2015, maybe I'll be like a City fan because that's when they got good.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Been a
That's
fan.
crazy.
Ooh, that burns.
Yeah, you're not a real team if you're sponsored by Puma, anyways. Like,
Are we done? Are we done? There ain't no intelligent conversation.
here's an intelligent conversation. Hey, Guardiola, get a striker. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's
Wrapping
enough. Yeah. R.I.P. Chelsea. R.I.P. Man City. It's hilarious that Real Madrid's still alive somehow. They don't have the team for it. I've been saying it since the beginning. They don't have the team to win Champions League. And I swear to God, they proved me wrong. It's going to be ridiculous. Like, if Real Madrid wins the Champions League, it's going to be ridiculous. I don't expect them to.
Like I said, I think it's a better than when we won that year.
We shall see. That back line is so shaky. But for some reason, the final is 24 days from now. So
That's so far away.
Yeah.
that's insane. But yeah, we'll drop an episode with predictions when we get closer to the final.
In 20 days.
And yeah, something like that. But yeah, this has been Off the Bar Podcast. My name is Rafael Dos Santos.
Connor O'Brien.
Allison's always.
Michael Figueroa.
Ethan Sanabria.
Get wrecked, Ethan. And we'll catch you next time.
Hey yo, bro, relax.
See ya.
Fair play, man. Good game.
No fair.